Georgia was divided in their loyalty to Great Britain. You had those that were called Tories. They wanted to remain loyal to the British government. Those that were called Whigs, they wanted colonial independence from Great Britain. Tories become known as Tories become known by as loyalists. Whigs become known as patriots. Patriots can also be known as Liberty Boys, colonials, sons, and daughters of liberty. Georgia was one of the strongest supporters of the British crown. It was a very young colony, almost like a baby. It still relied on Great Britain for a lot of their resources, a lot of their products. There was also a very profitable trade between the two areas. Georgia traded indigo, rice, lumber, and naval supplies for manufactured goods. When the First Continental Congress met in 1774 to begin to explore the idea of independence, Georgia did not send any representatives. After the battles of Lexington and Concord in 1775, however, there was enough support for the Patriots to send delegates to the Second Continental Congress, where those present voted for the independence from Great Britain. Although the support by Georgia for independence continued to grow, the Loyalists had a strong presence in the colony until after the Battle of Yorktown was fought in 1781. The Battle of Kettle Creek occurred on February 14, 1779. Morale is very low throughout the colonies. The British had taken control of Savannah 2 months earlier, in December of 1778. Because of this victory, they were confident that if they marched an army through Georgia and the Carolinas, thousands of Loyalists would flock to join them, but only 600 Loyalists joined. The British, who was headed to Augusta, decided to set up camp at Kettle Creek in the Georgia backcountry. There they were attacked by 340 Patriots under the commands of Andrew Pickens, John Dooley, and Elisha Clark. The result of the confrontation was the first colonial victory in Georgia during the American Revolution. The Battle of Kettle Creek was very minor when compared to those fought in other parts of the country. It was, however, important to Georgia. The militia was able to take badly needed weapons and horses from British soldiers. The spirits of the Georgia militia were lifted by their victory. After the battle, it was also discovered that many of the 600 Loyalists that took part in the battle were criminals, while others did not join by choice. Some were threatened with the loss or life of property if they did not join. Although the British were confident there were many Georgians who still supported the British government, they might have realized after 4 years of war, some of the allegiances have dwindled. In September of 1779, 22 French ships and 4,000 soldiers under the command of Charles Henry, Comte d'Estaing, arrived off of Tybee Island. Those troops joined about 15,000 Americans under the command of General Benjamin Lincoln. The combined armies laid siege to Savannah. A siege occurs when forces try to capture a fortified fort or town by surrounding it and preventing any supplies from reaching it. Finally, at daybreak on October 9th, the American and the French troops attacked British positions. The attack, which only lasted 45 minutes, failed. By the time it was over, more than 1,000 men with the American forces, 821 of them were French, and 40 British were dead. Over 600 men were wounded. One of America's best foreign patriots, Polish Count Casimir Pulaski, had given his life for country not his own. Savannah was to remain in British hands for the next 3.5 years.